What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is called 10 reasons the USA is better than Europe. Oh, I would love to know what these reasons are. You know, if it's things that we know about or not, we'll find out.
Whether we agree with it as well.
Whether we agree or disagree, we're gonna find out. Before we get into the video, guys,
smash that subscribe button.
Let's check out the video.
Everyone, welcome back to World According to Briggs and a video about why the United States is so much better than Europe. This video came about after getting emails from Europeans for close to 3 years now telling me why the US sucks and Europe is so much better. I get these all the time. They often bring up some good, valid points, but they also like to hint at things like we're all just rude, arrogant, and dumb. That can be true about Americans, but that could be true about anyone. It's not like Americans have cornered the market on being rude. These people always act like they have it so much better in Europe and the only thing the US has ever done was start wars. Honestly, that's like the general theme. That's what they always seem to go to, is we start wars. But US does have some bad things, and the US has some great things, just like Europe. Every country, every town, every village, and every neighborhood has its good and its bad. If you don't understand that, you're kind of dumb. So let's take a look in no particular order at some things that make the US a far better option than Europe. Number 10, World Wars. We don't have them. We never have. We hopefully never will. We just don't have world wars here in the United States. We've had a civil war and we've had some other things. And before you do, stop typing. Yes,
it's true. World War II, as we just learned, obviously all started in, with the Nazis in Germany. So yeah, that's a big deal, and it's true.
Pearl Harbor was part of World War II and it was on American soil, but that was just an attack that took a couple hours. The Japanese also did take hold of some rock outcropping we had in the Bering Sea near Alaska. They stayed there for a couple months. We didn't even try and chase them out. But when it comes to world wars, no real combat on American soil other than those. We've joined other wars. Matter of fact, we joined 2 world wars in Europe to help Europe. I don't know if you Europeans remember, but there was this German guy with a funny little mustache, and he had plans for all of Europe and pretty much the entire world. If it wasn't for the United States, there's a good chance his dream would have come true. Over 100,000 U.S. servicemen lost their lives in combat during World War II. In World War I, it was about 116,000. So we may have started some wars in our history, but we sure have helped out Europe with a couple of theirs. And from the looks of it, might be a third one on the way.
Agree.
Number 9, amusement parks. That World War II thing, World War I, was kind of depressing, so let's look at amusement parks. We excel at amusement parks. Europe has some wonderful things to do, don't get me wrong, but we set the bar for amusement parks. The Six Flags amusement parks, our water parks, Disneyland, Disney World, Cedar Point, Hershey Park, Busch Gardens, Universal, King's Dominion, Kings Island, and one of my personal favorites growing up was Knott's Berry Farm. It's not the biggest and it's not one of the best, but it's just got a place in my heart. So it gets...
I'm not a big, I don't care much for amusement parks. I don't come out my way to go to an amusement park, but I did hear America amusement parks are next level. I have heard that. Even their Disneyland, I think, is a lot better than the one in Paris. Disney World.
They've got Disney World over there.
It's better than the one
in Paris.
Yeah, Paris one.
Yeah.
To mention, Euro Disney's nice, Euro Park, Port Adventura, Future Scope, those are all nice, but it's nothing compared to what we got going on here in the United States. Okay, Legoland started in Europe, and that's pretty cool. We got some here in the United States, but we still blow everyone out of the water when it comes to amusement parks. Number 8, the U.S. economy. If you don't know, the U.S. economy is huge. It's by far the biggest economy in the world. The United States annual GDP is about $21 trillion. In a distant second, you have China with an annual GDP of $14.72 trillion. After that, you got Japan with $5.06 trillion GDP. At number 4, you get your first European country, and it's Germany. They only have a $3.85 trillion annual GDP. Then the United Kingdom is 2.76, and then after that, you got India, and then finally France, 2.63, Italy, 1.89. And if you look outside of countries, the state of California would come in 5th place with 3.4 trillion. So my question to the Europeans are, if we suck that bad, why do we make so much money? And feel free to leave comments about how we're corrupt.
What's your thoughts on that? We watch a lot of videos to say, it's clear US do make a lot of money. Jobs are higher paying. Also, the money they put into the military, they can afford to put that money into the military. They got to, afford it.
I feel like it's because they try to build things in their own country as opposed to getting supplies from other countries. So when they sell to their own people, they're making more profit, I believe. That's my assumption.
I think this is, I don't want to get political, so I'm not going to get political, but I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, the US kind of lost that for a little bit recently, and that's what Trump's trying to bring back. Hence why he's introducing tariffs. He's giving a lot of incentives for, people who left the US to do production to come back. So without getting political, guys, am I right to say that? Comment below.
And we take advantage of other countries like your countries don't also. Number 7, our technology. The United States has invented most of the really cool stuff. Sure, Europe has come up with the guillotine and the Iron Maiden, but the United States has come up with things like the personal computer in 1971, the weed whacker in 1971. 1972, we came up with the video game console. 72 also gave us the MRI. 73 gave us the cell phone. This is all before 1980. In 1978, we invented microwave popcorn. 1986, we gave you the 3D printer. 1996, we gave you Google.
I think it's debatable. A lot of innovation, like US is known to be innovators, like that's their thing, right? Innovation. But a lot of great things have come from Europe. I think a lot of great things have come from many places. It's just obviously depends how you narrow it down and what you see is important to you.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But yeah, I basically what I'm saying, great things have come from many different places, not just America.
2005, we gave you YouTube. I should say 2004,
Thank
we gave
you
you
for
Facebook
YouTube.
also, but that's kind of working against us these days, it seems like. Along with in 2006, Twitter showed up. We also gave you the COVID-19 vaccine. I know some of you don't think that was a good thing, but a lot of people do. If you want to go way back, 1938, we invented the chocolate chip cookie. Take that, Europe, you and your croissant.
Oh, God.
I love croissant.
But you love chocolate chip cookies too.
Yeah, I love both.
Number 6, gas prices. Your gas prices suck, Europe.
Agreed.
Face it. I know you go by...
I hate this about the UK, and I say this to Fats all the time. Fuel in the, like gas or petrol, what we call it in the UK, is absurd. What we're paying here is absurd. Like, if you lot had our gas prices, I think you lot will be going ballistic at your government.
By liters, and we're going to break it down for gallons, which we use here in the United States, and dollars, okay? I found a nice little chart that breaks it down as of May 1st, 2022. The highest gas prices in the world right now is Hong Kong, and it is $10.87 on average per gallon of gas.
That sounds like
Norway, it's 9.13 for a gallon of gas. Monaco, it's $9 a gallon of gas. Iceland, $8.75. Denmark, $8.69. Finland, $8.64. Greece, $8.38. Netherlands, $8.33. Germany, $7.91. United Kingdom, $7.70. The list goes on. Sweden, $7.69. Liechtenstein, $7.66. Estonia, $7.55. Switzerland, $7.47. This list goes on. You know where the United States is? 84th in the world with $4.58 on average.
I wish we had that in the UK. I'll be a very happy man.
But I think it's because they have their own oil as well.
They buy at a good rate,
Yeah.
and they have a lot of their own, which they keep as surplus ready for if they ever need it.
Countrywide. Now, this is the point where a bunch of people here in the United States are going to leave some political comment or how they just paid $5.10 in Los Angeles or something. This is the national average. Good thing you people in Europe like to ride bikes everywhere.
I don't.
Number 5, fast food. Now, this is a strange one, I know, because fast food isn't really something you should be proud of, but I will tell you right now, every single European I know, that's one of the first things they say is our fast food is amazing. The variety and the flavor is awesome. You have great food in Europe. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that. You have a lot of really classic cuisine. You know, I mean, the Italian stuff you got going on in Italy, France, amazing. I could really do without German food, but still, you know. But Americans that go over there, they bring that up all the time, and Europeans that come over here talk about how amazing our fast food is. Again, it's unhealthy. It's probably why we're one of the largest countries in the world as far as chubby people go, but still, it tastes great. We have a wide variety. It's something that's kind of awesome.
I would love that.
Number 4, modern music. Jazz, blues, rock and roll, rap, hip hop. As far as modern music goes, it all started here, and anything that was done in Europe was basically a new version of something that came from the United States.
True.
Prove me wrong. Now,
A lot of like UK rap and hip hop and stuff, it's all started in the US, and then like we kind of copied it and try to do our own twist on it. But it's all everything originates from the US and kind of UK follows.
And even now, like a lot of these UK artists, their end goal is to collaborate with a big American artist, and it's such a huge achievement when they do it.
It's way big in the US. Let's be real. So I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
If you go way back in music, Mozart, Wagner, Chopin, Bach, those are all great. But what have they done for us lately? I mean, they haven't done much for us lately because they all died like in the early 1900s or late 1800s or even earlier than that. They haven't done much for us lately. But modern music is where the United States shines. What is considered to be the first rock and roll song ever was done by Ike Turner and Jackie Breston. They wrote a song called Rocket 88, and that is considered to be the first rock and roll song ever. If it wasn't for that, and then Elvis taking that type of music, and Buddy Holly and people like that, we wouldn't have had the Beatles,
Michael
or the Rolling
Jackson.
Stones, or some version of that. Again, don't get me wrong, there has been some amazing modern music that's come out of Europe, but yeah, we started it. Number 3, the landscapes. Now, this one's going to be up for an opinion because Europe does have the Alps, amazing rivers like the Rhine, Lake Como, and other amazing lakes, the Azores, Tuscany, the Greek Isles. Those are all great, but it doesn't compare to the sheer volume that we have here in the United States with places like Yosemite, Arches, the Great Smoky Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, the Great Lakes, the
All the national
Everglades,
parks.
Death Valley, the giant sequoias, the redwoods, Yellowstone National Park, the Badlands, the Grand Canyon, the entire state of Oregon outside of Portland. That list can go on about amazing landscapes to see here in the United States. Europe does have some good ones, but just in sheer volume and numbers and things to see, we're a bigger country.
Agreed. It's just volume. Like, we got nice stuff, but it's very limited.
And we have amazing landscapes. So we get the win, in my opinion, on that one. Now, to be fair, if we start looking at amazing buildings, ancient buildings and stuff, Europeans got us killed there. But, you know, I mean, the Colosseum, Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, so many other ones. We have nothing that compares to that, but our land and our natural beauty is, in my opinion,
Stunning.
and
Look
a
at
lot
that.
of people's opinion, so much better. Taxes. Everyone in the United States always seems to think they have the highest taxes. Not even close. The United States is ranked 44th. If you take what the United Nations considers a country and you rank them by how much they tax their citizens, this is how they're ranked. The Ivory Coast, for some reason, they're just taxing the hell out of everyone.
God.
But it's followed by Finland, Japan, Austria, Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, Israel, Slovenia, Netherlands, Portugal, Ireland, Spain, Iceland, China gets in there, Germany, United
else
Kingdom,
UK?
France,
Okay,
South Africa, South Korea,
I was gonna
Australia,
say, where
then
are
we go back
we?
to
I was going to say, like, taxes right now in the UK is wild. I was shocked that we're even that far down the list.
Luxembourg, Greece, Italy, Turkey, which is not really in Europe, but you get the idea. And then after that, it goes down a while and you start seeing things like Switzerland, Monaco, Norway. And finally, way down there at number 44, you get to the United States. Here in the United States, we complain about our taxes an awful lot, especially how they're slanted towards the rich, really don't pay that much taxes. And if you're middle class or below, you're getting gouged. That's how we see it. But if you rank them on a global scale, the United States isn't doing that bad. But that top 20 is filled with a lot of European countries. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called On This. And number 1, shopping. Yes, I'm sure a lot of you are a little shocked, but shopping is one of the biggest complaints Americans that move to Europe have about Europe, and Europeans that come to the United States, they love how easy it is to
surprised
shop.
about
Now,
that.
it's not just ease or whatever, it's convenience and actually customer service. Customer service really doesn't seem to be much of a thing in Europe, according to most people that have moved over there.
What do you think of that customer service not being that great in the UK? Well, in Europe, obviously
I think it depends on where you
we
work,
could
to
speak
be
for the
honest.
UK. We can't speak for Europe.
Yeah. I think it depends on where you work. I worked in Harrods, which is the most luxurious store in the whole of UK. Customer service had to be top tier.
Otherwise, you wouldn't work
If you
there.
work somewhere like Asda, then obviously you can't expect top tier customer service.
I think with the US, people are just naturally more friendly.
Yeah.
So with that, kind of, they're more positive, they're more polite, and that kind of links to just being better with customer service rather than just having a rest and bitch face while you're working and not wanting to conversate with no one, I guess.
Or visited. What we would consider rude here in the United States really
That's
is
what I
kind
said.
of normal in Europe when it comes to someone working at a retail place or a grocery store, something like that. They don't really see it as rude, it's just very transactional to them and matter of fact. All right, that's today's video. Okay,
Interesting points. I kind of agree with quite a lot of that. There is like one or two things I'm like, debatable. But overall, pretty accurate.
Yeah, same. I agree with some points.
Yeah. Guys, thanks so much for the recommendation. Don't forget to subscribe. For now, peace out.
Bye.